All right, welcome. Today, more desktop, or not desktop, what am I saying? More file uploader stuff, indeed. So, where we left off last time, we were trying to get the root directory created for a user when they sign up. So that's where we're at right now, and I'm going to start basically exactly where I left off yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to implement that off camera, but that's just the way things are. So we're going to get started with creating the root directory for the user, and then kind of going from there, and continuing on finishing the file uploading, the basic backend for that. So just the CRUD queries essentially. Let me see. Yeah, okay, my mic's working. Good. Yo, how's it going, Juan? Welcome. Just gonna make sure that everything looks good. Yep. All right. Let us begin. Yeah, okay. Cool. I also forgot to schedule the stream again. My apologies. I had too many other things going on today. I didn't have time to get around to it, but I'll do it after this stream. So let's begin. Everything's fine? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I need to so let's go to my thing. So create root directory for when user signs up, but I'm gonna need to do this via a route, right? And so the way that I'm gonna do this is I think the user, I don't think the user ID is exposed to, the client. So this is what I'm gonna have to do. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to create another function here to create root directory or something like this, right? So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get, I don't even know if I can get the what the context variable even is. Okay, so yeah, so there's no I can't get the session here, I don't think. Yo, how's it going, Salty? Welcome. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm just creating the root directory for the user when they sign up. I'm just trying to think, can I get the context for the latest sign up within this? I don't know if that is possible. What's that to do app? This one? This is Obsidian. I got you. Okay. So that's a link to download it. It's absolutely free. I'm just thinking about what I need to do here. Okay, so I need to get the session, right? So the first thing we need to do is check our routes under here. Oh yeah, I'm already in that. So for the home, or to be under my content, no, components, home layout. Yeah, so off client use session. So const data session. I don't know if I can get the session in here. We're gonna try. Equals off client dot use session. I don't know if this works. We'll find out, I guess. And then what we're going to need to do, actually, you know what? We might want to actually put this inside of a separate library function. So what we're going to do is we're going to say init root directory. Create root directory .ts, I guess. And then we're going to get the off client in here. Okay. And then so what we're going to do as well is we're actually going to put this inside of a get or create root directory for, yeah, that's fine. So good. Okay. Nice. And then so we're going to run this function, and this is also be an asynchronous function as well. Now I don't, yeah, so that's fine because this is an awaited statement anyway, so good. Yo, how's it going, Danny? Welcome. Nice to see you. Okay. Get the ID from that. Now again, is this the most secure creating the root directory? Probably not, but it's the way that I'm sticking it. I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna do that. So the first thing that we need to do is okay. So I've insert new file, insert new directory. Okay, so this insert new directory should work just fine. And then we can give it, yeah. So okay, so let's do that. Let's do this. So we're gonna create a new. We're gonna create a new. What's it called here? A new endpoint. We're do I do it as a post? Project going? It's going all right. Even though it's kind of slow. This in the next, because I've kind of been doing this for like more than a month, so I'm kind of getting of it. But it's been a really good process. Sorry, my throat was I had like phlegm. Okay. So I get or a post. I think probably a post, right? And do it as a parameter here. Is we can do a drive post, and then we'll slash init slash, or wait, can I get the user session, I wonder, from when I post that? I actually may not even need this separate function, because if the auth client, oh, but it's not initialized, I guess, when we sign up, eh? So I don't know if that's something to consider. So yeah. So let's see. So what's the problem with this? Oh, string file is not okay, so yeah, let's I'm just thinking about the best way to go about this. Do I do it on sign up or sign in? The other thing I could do is authenticate the user as soon as they sign up, but I don't know if I want to do that. You know what, let's actually do that. So where is my thing? Okay. Better off, I just forget the option for this, right? So let's go to, there is a way of authenticating on sign up, right? I think so. I'm gonna need to dig for it a little bit, but you just redirect to the root if we automatically initialize them, right? Okay, so that's good. And then so the other thing is, or type of name is not equal to string anything. We just need the user. Right? And then so if not user, I'm just going to return c dot JSON success false message unauthenticated. Something like this. I mean, I could throw an HTTP exception as well. Maybe I actually should do that. It might be a better idea. Throw new HTTP exception, and it'll be a 401 unauthorized message, unauthorized request. Okay. So that's fine. Yo, HMU, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you again, my friend. Okay, so then what we're going to need to do here is we have that, and we don't even need the parent ID or the name. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to have another method to check whether the root already exists, which might involve another query. Insert new directory, and then we need to do export const select directory, and then this is going to be like based on a path, I think. So like maybe a path, or actually, you know what? We don't even need the selector yet. Select root. I mean, maybe this is going to be superfluous, but I think this is actually fine. Select router, and then so what we're going to do is we're going to do our try catch as well, and then we're going to do if, so we're going to say const root dir is equal to await db.select dot from directory entity dot where, and then I'm going to do an and here, of course. So we're going to do equal file entity, or directory entity, I should say, dot user ID is user ID, and the directory entity dot is root is true, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna return root dir, right? And then so well, actually we'll do this. Root dir otherwise null. Since you have to compares objects by, because I need to check whether it's empty or not. Root dir dot length 0 is greater than or equal to 0, actually. Greater than 0. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Might want to check stream health. Quite a few hiccups. If I jump back 3 minutes, there's a visible cut right before I sent my first. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, I wasn't looking at that. Sorry, I was kind of in the zone for a second. Hold on. Let's see what the stream's looking like right now. Stream health. Stream is healthy. I don't have any reports that there was a spike, so now it seems okay. Sounds good. It might be on your end. I'm not 100% sure. I don't see any noticeable hiccups on my end. Well, let me know if that happens again. Yo, how's it going, JMac? Sounds good, Marcus. Nice to see you. Okay, so we have this, which now will get our root directory, right? Assuming that it exists. Otherwise, it'll return null if it doesn't, right? So that's good. So we have that. So we have our select root dir, which we're going to need to take back inside of our drive controller here for our middleware. So what we're going to need to say is const is root dir, or root dir exists. And then we're going to do await drive query dot it's recruiting season, guys. Let's all grind. Is it? I don't even know when recruiting season's supposed to be. Like summer, I guess. Select root dir, and then the user ID, which is just the user.id, right? And then we're going to say if not rootdir exists, then we create it, right? So now, do we need another? No, I don't think so. I think we can just use our other query, right? We can do our const rootdir. Otherwise, if it does exist, we can just, we can just return c.json success was true, or would it be false, I guess. And then the message, I guess, will just be root directory already exists or something. I don't know, something like this. And then we'll say rootdir is equal to await drive query dot insert new directory, user ID true, parent ID is null, and then the name is empty. Or I could just name it root or something like that. Something like this, right? So we'll check if rootdir exists. And then if it does, we'll return c.json success is true, and then data, and then we'll send it. We'll send the rootdir back as well. Why don't we? Otherwise, we will throw a new HTTP exception 500 message root directory could not be created or something like this, right? Okay. What's the keyboard shortcut to pick different options from the VS Code suggestions? It's like, so you mean like so if I'm doing like, if I'm going like C dot or something like this, let me just see. You just do the up and down arrows. That's what I do, Marcus. So when I have this little window open here, I literally am just doing up and down arrows. What's my planning software? It's Obsidian, which you can download for free here. So yeah, that's what I use. Okay, so this should theoretically all work. Yeah, it's not too bad, Marcus. I'm just so used to VS Code at this point, even though I've tried other editors like Zed and stuff. But yeah. Okay. Now, theoretically, if we send a, we should be able to send a fetch to this, right? Now, it doesn't really actually, now that I think about it, need to be a get, does it? Or a post, I mean. It can kind of be a get. But we'll keep it as a post only because it is a creation of something, right? Just downloaded it? Nice. Yo, for real, who's trying to do mock interviews? I mean, every stream of mine's a mock interview. I'm being interviewed by all of you guys at the same time. Okay. So now, I think we can just write that helper, no? Inside of here. So we can actually do that fetch. So we can say const response is equal to await fetch, and then we'll hit that endpoint, right? Now the problem is I don't have like the URL on the server. I need to kind of hard code it, which is not ideal. I need to fix that eventually, like doing a constant, because I don't want to do environment variables on the front end, right? So, but right now I'm just, we'll just hard code it. /dir/init, right? And then we're gonna do our, whole spiel here, and then so I think we need to do. I think our headers need to be, I forget what the headers need to be. I think there's one for sharing credentials. But I can't remember what it is. let's see. Fetch API share credentials, or does that work through the CORS policy? We can do our method at least. Because we're not sending anything. We're not sending any data, right? But I think there's something I do have to do, unless it's through the. So we have content type, but we don't need to worry about that, I don't think. How long have I programmed for? I've been programming for about 3 years, XLMAR. But I've only been learning web dev for about 6.5 months. Yeah, maybe we'll just screw it and see if it breaks. So now we'll just do our whole if response.ok thing, throw new error, response status, response.status. And we should also try catch this as well. Oops. Let's just finish this off. Let's just throw the error. And then here we'll get that, we'll await that JSON. So then we'll say const result is equal to await response.json and then return results. Okay. We don't even need this auth client anymore. And then we can run this create root directory under here. Await. Oh yeah, because we need to import it. That's the problem. Okay, so we don't need to. We can just do this. Okay. Cool. All right, let's take a break. 6.5 months, and you can already create a Google Drive clone. I mean, I've been it's been kind of hard going, this project XLMAR, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Slow progress each stream. But yeah. Again, I also hold a bachelor's of applied science in computer science. It's a mouthful. So I do have a CS degree, so to speak. It is a CS degree, but it's more like math theoretical, but it is computer science. So I do have, I came into learning web dev with a decent amount of CS experience. Trying to get a job at Jane Street like this is possible. Just moved to like C++. I don't know where Jane Street is. I don't know the reference. Yeah, I'm learning C. I mean, I know C isn't like necessarily. Is Jane Street like? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that's referencing. But no, I'm learning C on the side, which I think is good. Maybe C++ someday. Over my head. I don't get the reference. Oh, high frequency trading firm. Got you. Guys, I'm not tapped in. Okay, that's you have to realize. I live in my own little bubble over here. My own little, I do my day job. I answer tickets, these sorts of things, and then I come to stream and just grind and chat to you guys. Did you learn the basics like system design, caching, scaling? Learned a little bit of that in my degree, Pavla's, but not a lot. When's the next C stream? Next week. Innovation next week. I don't know when next week, but it'll be next week. I have the streams all planned out for this week, so I'm going to continue. Tomorrow's going to be more web dev, and then I'm going to be off on the weekend because I'm traveling. So Saturday, Sunday, no stream, and then Monday will be the next stream. So, but I'll let you know. It'll be next week. I'm gonna do at least one public C stream, I think, just to shake things up a little bit, and then maybe do something else for the supporters only stream. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet though, because I want to, we're still still kind of early days for the supporter stuff. So I'm still kind of, I think it's gonna be a lot of experimenting. So yeah, try getting like the basics in the meanwhile while you're not streaming. Yeah. Of like system design stuff. Yeah. I mean, I do, I also work like, designing data intensive apps and similar books. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I do work like 40 hours a week on top of streaming. So I don't like have a shit ton of time to dedicate to, other stuff, but I'll definitely look into it, because that is true. Like there are, like I did have, I will say I did have a course on operating systems where we talked about, like caching and these sorts of things, but it wasn't really related to building software projects. It was more just like how a computer implements caching. Can I become a junior web dev in 90 days? Very difficult, Juan. It depends how much experience you have going in. If you're starting from scratch, I'd say that's pretty much not feasible. Need to go? Sounds good, HME. Appreciate you coming around. Do you work as a software engineer or is it something else? I work in IT, Gonza. So I do. I'm like a systems administrator, kind of. My job role is kind of a lot of different things, but yeah, I work in like mid-level IT. I'm learning the cache hierarchy right now. It's probably going to do operating systems after this computer systems course. Nice. Are you doing a course through like an institution innovation, or are you doing like just your own learning? Or are you like going to like a university? I forget. Maybe you mentioned it before, but I don't remember. So, but no, yeah. If you want to read my FAQ and you're new here, you can check out my FAQ here. I probably need to add more to my FAQ, to be honest with you. It's kind of dated at this point, but I'll get there at some point. But anyway, the grind continues. My own learning, but I'm basically doing it for a course from CMU. Got you. That's sick, though. I'm learning poo. I don't even know what that is. Oh, procedural? I don't know what poo stands for. Functional programming and logical programming this semester. Nice. Would you say you enjoy IT more than web dev? No. I enjoy web dev more than IT, which is why I'm willing to do it after work. I don't actually really like IT that much. I just, it's okay. I don't mind it. Like, I don't hate it, but it's not my preferred job. But I got it because I got an internship in IT, XLMR. So that's why I went down that career path, because it was what was presented to me. Yeah, and did the basics of the Odin Project. Nice. Yeah, so Juan, maybe I would certainly give it a shot. Like, I mean, it's worth a shot. And if you don't get an internship, like you can still learn a shit ton in 90 days. Like if you look at my streams, like I learned a decent amount in 90 days, and I was only dedicating like 15 hours a week to learning. So, but yeah, like no, I don't really like. I don't love IT. IT is not my end goal. Is it still learning web dev considering the capability? I mean, I think it is. Oh, you retracted your message. Maybe you want to change it. I'll let you change it. Okay. You can learn a lot if you stay consistent each day. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm on day what? Like 132, I think, was today. Like, and guys, if you go to my first stream 6 months ago, like the difference is crazy. I mean, again, granted, I came in with some experience, but like I'm helping 2 different people build websites now in my personal life. So like I've got one for a family member and then one for a friend. So I'm already I wouldn't say it's freelance per se because I'm doing it unpaid, but like I am doing stuff. But yeah, so I just started a project with a close friend of mine. To be announced. Maybe I'll announce it on this channel at some point, but yeah. Is it worth learning web dev considering the capabilities of the new generative AI models? Would there still be junior developer roles? I think My take on this, God's power, is yes, I think there will be, there will have to be, I think, unless, risking a economic implosion. But I think the junior dev role is going to change for sure. Like it's going to probably be, and I've kind of started to think this, especially as my own workplace has really leaned into AI. I think junior devs are going to be asked of more because of the pushing of AI in workplaces. So that might be something that might happen. I can't really speak to it though because I don't work in software engineering. But yeah, I think though, again, okay, so this is the other thing that I want to say, and I want to do this little side tangent before I get back into. I know it's like technically my work period, but whatever. So I have a thought about this. So I think the demands of a junior engineer, so a junior developer, are going to increase because the gateway to entry is, you should learn how to use AI. Yeah, but if you're a software person, JMac, it's not difficult. People that say you need to learn to use AI and it's a skill are people that don't know how to like work with software. That's my hot take. But the other thing is you won't, like, if you can just, if you're like a script kiddie or something like this, like that's not going to get you a junior role anymore. Like you're going to need to know more about these more quote unquote senior gate kept concepts, which you can only, in my opinion, the best way to do it is through learning manually, because AI can kind of fill in those gaps, right? Those kind of scripting gaps. Whether it's good for that or not, I don't know. I'm kind of, I have opinions, but this is from like a workplace perspective. Yo, how's it going, Satya? Learning AI doesn't make sense. Yeah, and the thing is you can pick up the techniques if you're smart. Innovation, like you can pick up the techniques if you're a software person and you understand this shit. Like learning like AI workflows is like presumably not that difficult, at least from what I've heard. That the AI is pushing you. Yeah, exactly, Salty. There's using AI and then there's using it properly. Yeah. Do you think AI one day in the future will fully replace SWE? I fucking hope not. I don't think we're anywhere close to that though, for what it's worth. Okay, so I need to log in now, or sign up. So let me go to do that. API auth sign up. And then I'm going to need to go to my body. And then we're going to need to do an email. Or a name, I think, right? Name. BenStack. Email ben@example.com. Password 1234. Okay. Now this should sign us up and sign us in at the same time, I would think. Yes. Oh, missing or null origin. Wait a minute. What is the... I think I have the route wrong. Sign up, email, API auth. That should work though. Oh, you know what? It won't even work through this anyway because I should probably do it through the web portal anyway. So let's do it through the website here. Okay. Add the origin header. Oh, right. I'm just gonna do it through the through the front end, just to sign up, and we'll see if it works. Because I do need to actually test whether this create root directory works as called here anyway. It's not completed. The resumable upload where the Redis distributed locking. If I horizontally scale my upload servers, have to test them regarding the idempotency. I cannot pronounce that word. But yes, that's cool, Satya. It's always worth trying to learn something if it interests you. Absolutely, Salty. I agree. Use AI like when you use a calculator with hard math problems, not when doing 2 + 2. I mean, arguably though, like you should get the AI to do the easier problems, I think. But that's just me. Okay, so let's just go through this here. I'm also gonna get up the mobile view as well. Let's just shrink this a little bit. Okay. All right, so response status. Dir init is not found. Oh, because it's drive. Wait, hold on. Because it's drive dir init. That's why. It's drive dir init. That's the problem. Okay. So I need to sign out and then delete that and try again. That's why. Idempotency means same operations should have the same output. Yeah, no, I know what it means, Satyam. I just couldn't pronounce it. I know what it means, at least from a discrete math perspective. Let's go to, yeah, tutorial hell is a tough place to be. I'm not going to lie. Let's delete the user again, and then just we'll re-authenticate here. Okay, so let's create another account. Okay. True, sign up. Yeah, okay, so the response is good. Bad request. Okay. Do you recommend the Odin Project? Yes, we indeed do. We indeed do. Okay, so we still had an issue with that request. So if we go to our, I wonder if this then works via, I think it should. I think it should work through Postman now. Let's try this again. Oh, I'm missing an origin. All right. What was it? It was the, what would you say earlier? I had the origin. Right. Content origin. Origin is from localhost 173. Okay, invalid origin. Why? What haven't I used? I've tried YouTube bootcamps, Udemy, a friend. I don't know how, but when you learn something new related to terminal, makes you use a lot. Yeah, exactly hated. Okay, so now we're getting an invalid origin. Is this not how you add an origin? If we tried applying, oh yeah. Okay, let's see, origin, Postman, let's just see here. Origin header format. Because I want, header presets. We should be allowed to, like, if we go to my CORS policies again, because I want to do this through thing. I want to do this through, oh wait, that's the web here. I need the API. Our API URL and our web URL, which is 8080 and 5173. Yeah, exactly. Your job can be different from your interests. I know that for a fact. Origin. Oh, does it need, do we need to add the HTTP to it? Ah, we might need to. That might be our problem. Okay. There we go. That worked. Perfect. And now we should have our cookie, right? Yes, we do. Okay. Now, if we send our get, so that should have created our thing in here. Good. And then now if we go to, or actually no, it is a post. So we need to do drive directory init. And it doesn't matter the data we send. Bad form data, parent ID and name need to be strings. Oh, because we're trying to get the, wait a second, hold on. Let's go back to our API here. Yeah, so /drive /dir /init, drive new dir post. Oh, drive init root post. That's what I need first of all. So that's part of my problem. Okay, so that did work. Nice. Okay, so we have our root created. So now inside of our directory entity, we should have one. And there's our root. Nice. And then we have our file entities as well, which are where how do we know where this is coming from? Oh, because we have a foreign key to the right. I see. Okay. So there we go. So there's our root. Perfect. Okay, so that did work. So now let's just verify that that works through the front end. My job is completely different than my interest law. I build and deliver cabinets for a living. Nice, Salty. That's kind of sick though, a little bit. That's kind of cool. I have zero ability to like build anything with my hands, so that's awesome. Mentality of not being job ready is going to anchor you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel that a little bit. Like, I mean, I could see myself like, just to add my own little anecdote, I could see how, you know, if you don't want to look for, if you never feel ready, you won't ever apply. Like, I do get that. So I don't want this on. How do I turn this off? Oh, I can do that. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now, if we delete the user, it should delete everything on Cascade, right? And then we can check that. And then so if we refresh, everything should be gone. Yes, perfect. So everything's deleted on Cascade, which is great. Okay, so now let's try creating an account again through this, just to make sure that the root gets created as well. Response status unauthorized. Okay, so I would assume then that means that we can't get the context. So we're not getting the context, right? So if I go to my ORM here, yes, we're not getting the context, which is okay. So that's important to know. So inside of, so it does work when you do them individually once you already have the context, but we don't have the context yet. Or not the context, but the session, I should say, right? So I wonder if it's worth trying to get the session here and then sending, like, because I wonder if the, what we can do is maybe we finish this first. Does this have a return? Oh, it returns a promise. Okay, well, you know what we can do? Well, obviously it returns a promise, but like, let's just do const sign up. Oh, it just gives me the data back, I see. Okay. Okay. Because I just want to make sure that the other thing we can do is we can just have a variable. We just say like let sign up success is equal to false. And then what we could do is we could do sign up success is equal to true. Okay. And then we abstract this out, wait for this to finish. And then we do if sign up success, then we do this. And then we have to await this as well, right? Now that should get the context, or the session, because then this will have finished and created the session properly before we're prematurely running anything, right? So, cool. I forked an OS installer some months ago, same for Discord, repeat for anything that gets in my way. Nice. That's pretty cool, actually. Why did you pick Google Drive to clone? Just wondering. It was a project from the Odin Project, roughly. So if I go to the Odin Project here, you can see that the project description is right here. File uploader. Right here. So I'm using this as a rough guide, Marcus. The other thing I'll say, God's power and this may not be what you want to do, of course, but for me at least, I have gained a lot of momentum from the streaming. And like, you could always give it a shot, even if no one watches your shit. Holding yourself accountable, or like figuring out a way to hold yourself accountable to learning, is huge. Like, I don't know, that's what worked for me, because I felt myself in a similar pit of never actually getting anything done. But for me to have like the community and stuff, like, no word of a lie, like, it gets me off my ass when I don't feel like it. Like, all of you folks that show up and say hi and all these sorts of things and offer me support, like, it does help. And I'm not saying necessarily to stream, but like, you have to find some way of holding yourself accountable that truly does work for you, because it's not easy. But that's kind of like, if I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in, I haven't been following the whole conversation. Makes a lot of sense, yeah. Imagine if we use some small scale self-hosted think with security patch updates. Yeah, it wasn't possible. Yeah, accountability is huge when trying to learn something. Exactly. If only I could stream leak code. You can, Marcus. People would watch that. Accountability is something that would help. Yeah. And like, God's power, you can even like join. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna, you have to get out of it what you will, but like, I have a Discord community with, over 350 members, and like, you can meet people in there and connect with them, and maybe even create your own mini little accountability network, and post in the progress and self-promo channel, and like, say, hey, this week I did this, and people are gonna like congratulate you for that, right? Like, and I'm not saying, again, you don't have to join it if you don't want to, but that there, like, I have that community that you can fully take advantage of if you'd like to, to help you out, because we're all there to help each other. Random question: why are constant variables usually colored but mutable variables don't have any? I think that's just a syntax thing, XLMAR. I think it's just a theme thing. Git revert hard Friday's commit. Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Speaking of which, I know I kind of I'm like not fully locked in right now, but that's okay. No one in IT knows what version control is, except for one other person that I work with, which is kind of funny. So like, yeah, literally, I'm like the only person that knows like what Git is and like how Git works. So it was funny because I installed Git on my work computer for something, because I wanted to version control a series of scripts that I was writing at one point, like a while ago. And my boss literally thought it was malware. I'm like, brother, like, what is going on? But anyway, so he's like, what is this on your machine? I'm like, have you like Git, like version control? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, anyway, so that was a fun experience I had. That goes to show you how different like IT and software engineering is. It's actually kind of nuts, yeah. It is. And like, my manager, great, he's a great boss, like he's a good boss, but he's very much a manager guy, you know, like he doesn't really, I don't know. What do they use instead? They don't. Like, we don't develop software, XLMR. We don't really need version control for most of the things we use because we don't develop software. I refused to use Windows on my work laptop. My boss wasn't happy. Yeah, no, I work for the government, or well, not for the government directly, but like indirectly for the government, and our systems are so locked down, you can't fucking touch anything on the machine. If we like, I'm stuck into Windows on my work machine. I cannot, like if I removed my machine from the group policy and did all this shit, like I'd get fired, like immediately. So that's like, I can't fuck around with that. Sometimes the callback syntax in JS makes me go crazy. Yeah. What's my timer setup? Do you have defined breaks? Yeah, I do 25 and 5, Marcus. So 25 minutes of work and then 5 minutes of like dedicated break. And then I do about 5 of those a stream. So that's my kind of layout. Why did that redirect to Pomo? Oh, I'm seeing like exclamation mark help in my chat. I don't know if that's a quirk on my end. Okay. Now. Oh wait, did these not match? What the hell? They should work. Oh, user already exists. Okie dokie. Oh, you know what then? Okay, so you know what it was, is the redirect didn't happen because the sign up success didn't get changed, presumably. Yeah, so it's true. Yo, how's it going, Codex? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is still... Okay, so I got to delete this guy again. I'm just trying to get the root file creation working from the front end here. The individual routes themselves do work. I just need to get this working. Create root directory. Okay, so you know what we'll do? We'll say const results is equal to this, and then we'll say if result.ok, then we'll navigate. And then otherwise we'll set sign up error could not create root directory or something. Or result.error.message. Actually, that's a better idea. Okay. So this is presumably running. Okay. Let's take the 5-minute break. Okay, I think we're on, let me see. Where can I see how long I've been live for? I think I've been live for an hour. Yeah, that would make sense because it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, okay. I'm only yeah, saying that because I was using my Pomodoro timer earlier and my session count was out of whack. You guys can't see that, but it said my session was already the 4th session. I'm like, no, it isn't. But it's because I used it earlier today. Do you have a plan after web dev? I mean, the web dev's never going to end. Like, I'm going to still do web dev. But yeah, I'm gonna do more things after that, Marcus. Like you know, kind of diversify my content. I've already started. I'm learning C. I just started learning C. I'm thinking of doing you know, learning other sorts of things. Whether it's like, you know, learning how to actually like learning more back-end technologies. Like I want to learn Go. I want to learn those sorts of things. I want to learn maybe Rust someday. That would make, you know, the Rust folks happy. I don't know, just like programming content, really. I'm kind of, maybe learn different tools, like learning, learning how to get really proficient with Vim or something like that. Like, I don't know, just anything related to tech. You may even see me, I think on April Fools, I have an idea for April Fools. April Fools, I'm going to do a vibe coding stream. So I already spoiled it, but so if you see that, stay tuned, I guess, till next April. But Ben installs Linux, yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah, I think so. Kodak says, chillin', just got home from birthday dinner. Happy birthday. About to put in some hours on VS Code, trying to get a portfolio set up for proof of work type deal. Nice. That's awesome. I'm just going all in on modern web apps. It's going to specialize in the area. Nice. Hell yeah, let's go. Are you saying let's go to Rust or let's go to vibe coding? What's tech stack are you using? I'm using my own tech stack, Kaif, or Kai. I don't know how to say your name. Yeah, I'm working on Salty's got it. Thanks, Salty. So yeah, but no, I think going all in is no vibe coding, please. No, it was a joke, Siam. It was a joke. Have I tried using Zed? Yes, I have, Mohammed. I found it. It's not. I've tried it. I like it, but it's not as feature rich as VS Code. I don't know. I found it kind of, find it kind of difficult to use in some sense, in some cases. That could just be me being not smart using it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. The vibe coding was a joke. That was just a funny like gaff. I love Zed. Nice. Yeah, no, it's fast. I do like that. I'm still rocking IntelliJ IDE. Nice, Gonza. Nice. It's true though, not as many extensions. Yeah, it's that and also like weird behaviors. You don't need that much features. I don't know. I like the VS Code. I mean, I know it's like bloated. People can say it's bloated. I like it. Am I going to stick with the VS Code forever? Probably not. But for now, I'm happy there. I'm happy with it. I've kind of been switching back and forth, but it's okay. It does the job. I would want to try Xcode, but I have no problems with VS Code, so I'll probably never switch. Yeah, fair enough, Marcus. No, I think we'll move to Vim. Yeah, I mean, I see like people with really like involved NeoVim setups. Like I can see like liking that. Like I get that. I get having fun with the editors, but I don't think like having like being like my editor's better than yours is like a really worthy discussion of having, because like you can still like accomplish anything with any editor, right? Hey, I'm new here. Tell me your story and your short-term and long-term goal and story behind the stream title. That's kind of a lot of stuff to cover, Vignesh, but you can read my FAQ here to get a little bit more insight. Vibe coding sucks. I completely agree. Vim motions are pretty cool, as in using the only keyboard to edit, but NeoVim is kind of rough as an editor. I'm going to be honest. Don't say that as an NVim user. Got you. Well, I honestly don't know. I've never tried it, so I'm saying this completely ignorantly. I've tried a bunch. I just like VS Code because it can do all, makes life easy. Yeah, Codex. I'm kind of in the same boat right now, to be honest with you. And again, like you can accomplish. I'm from Canada. You can accomplish anything in any editor, right? Like it's not the tool, it's the developer, really. You're rage baiting, Siam. Fair enough. It's the feel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, like, I don't know. The other thing too is I'm so used to VS Code. I've used VS Code for 3 years since I started my CS degree, and I'm just used to it, So I'm like, it's going to take a lot of an inertia shift for me to get fully out of it, I think. Okay, so we are going to see if the results, let's see if this doesn't work. So I think I deleted the user, right? Yeah, okay, good. I know it's kind of annoying to keep having to type this, but now I could set this up, but I want to test it through the Okay, all right, so we're getting an unauthorized before we even get here. But this sign up success is true. So that is working. I'm gonna delete this console log here and this one as well. We don't need the context because we know that that's being set to true. So the error is actually happening inside of our result here. Response status 401 unauthorized. Okay, so maybe the session still doesn't exist for some reason. I thought it would exist for sure. Because like if I go into my where is it here? Here it is. If we go into here, or wait, no, where is it? Actually, am I like? Oh yeah, here we go. If we go into application, we see our cookies. So we have our better auth here, but it's not hooking up the, I don't think our auth is doing this properly. I don't think the session validator is working completely. How are we doing with our sign in here? To put my 2 cents, vibe coding is just taking away the fun of programming. Yep, I agree. 12 a.m. from London. You convinced me to start the Odin Project as a first-year CS student. That's awesome, Waffle Links. Welcome, welcome in. I've been to London before. It's a beautiful city. Try Control-Shift-R, hard refresh. Oh, for this. What's the timer for? It's just work versus break. It's at Pomodoro. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's basically like I do 25 minutes of work / talking to chat. I mean, it's loose, and then 5 minutes of a break. But I just basically do it more so to just track how long the stream's been going for. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay. So basically, the reason why we're getting this error is because the idea is whenever we send a request to anything inside of our backend, okay, if I go here, it gets routed through our session validator, okay? And our session validator requires, an active session to, otherwise it'll set these variables as null or whatever it is, right? And then some of our endpoints require that session exists, right? So yeah. But I think that this here is trying to send a request before the context is fully, or before the session's fully initialized, which is kind of, I'm not sure how to fix that. I would have thought like at the end of this, where is it? At the end of this await here, that it would have been initialized, but I think it's not for some reason. Create root directory line 8. Yeah, so this is where that's where the error is being thrown. So the response is bad, right? Now the other thing we can do is we can console log the response just to see what it looks like. Unless it's already in here. Work and break both in quotes. Yeah, exactly. It's loose. It's just a rough guideline. Just finished second year and I'm kind of scared as I just don't have fun using AI, but eventually outside of learning, I'm afraid I'll need to. Yeah, I mean, is the BenStack v1 repo this code base if we want to follow along? No, it isn't. That's just the template for my stack. This code, this code base is closed source for right now, but I'll open source it when I finish it. Hated, so yeah. But yeah, the BenStack v1 is just the template for the stack. But yeah, I think, Marcus, you'll have to, I think, unfortunately, use AI in a lot of workplaces. Even my workplace, like, we're starting to use it more and more. And like, you just got to do what you got to do. Like, I have more of a nuanced take on this as the months have gone on. It's like, do what you can to minimize the amount of AI you can use, but you have to, if your management or whoever is setting ridiculous deadlines, you have to do what you got to do, right? And but if you understand these systems at a deep level yourself, like it'll make using the AI not only easier, but you'll also have the ability to dive into the code base if needed, and hopefully debug stuff that a true vibe coder or someone wouldn't be able to. How long have I been working on this project? Probably about like a month. Why, man? This particular iteration of the project, only a couple weeks though. Would it be cool to able to see it evolve on GitHub as we watch? Yeah, I thought of that. The only thing is, at this point, I'm a little bit insecure about the code. Hated, so I just keeping it private. But no, that you make a valid point. You make a valid point. But anyway, okay, so yeah, so let's delete the user again, and then let's see what the response looks like. Okay, so this is what we got. Unauthorized cores, but I don't know where it's getting hit. I guess it doesn't really say, huh? Response group directed. Response status 401. There's nothing in the body. I think this is genuinely happening inside of, so when we go into here, I can get around this. If we go into this, this is where this is happening, I think. We can even verify that as well. Still cookies? I don't think so, because I mean I think they're like, that could be it actually. You make a good point. Let's see. Yeah, like if we delete this cookie, like we just delete the cookies here. Like delete this one. Okay, and then let's delete this. Make Flappy Bird. That is a fun idea. No shame to be had. Maybe chat could help. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, chat already does kind of help a little bit. I think you're not sending token or something. That's why maybe you're getting the error. Yeah, I mean the Better Off library is sending the token. Or setting the cookie, I should say. You also built an edtech platform for TET exam revision plus. That's cool, Vignesh. Okay. So it's uncaught in promise. Now, do we have our, yeah, so user does not exist. Okay, so that's exactly what the error is. So this user is not defined. So it's running through, so what's happening is oh Jesus, I want this bar over here. Okay, so the session is not getting initialized before we're trying to create the root directory. Hope you fix it. I'm gonna go do some lines. Nice, nice Codex. I got you. Don't worry. I made a 3D shooting game actually with C++ in a race game. That's awesome, Wyman. Yeah, see you next time, Codex. I appreciate you dropping by. Okay, so we know that's what the problem is. I just need to think about how to get around it. Now, yeah. Because it is sending the cookie, but this cookie's coming in too late. And then when we're hitting that endpoint, the session validation is getting put into here, right? So we're setting the user to null and the session to null. And then we're going to, you know, this middleware, and then it can't get this user variable. So I gotta keep thinking about how to do this, where we can get that session initialized, right? Now, where are we validating? Let's go back to our home layout here. So we have our auth client use session. And then I gotta think about this, man. Because this should be running in order, you'd think, because this needs to be awaited, right? How you get the AI to check both input and output, not just slop. Yeah. But I feel like, though, if the AI is inherently limited, like, does that actually help? Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not, again, my actual experience with AI is limited, so yeah, so we're not getting I think maybe I need to include credentials in here. Does this fix it, I wonder? But I thought this was already done through our cores policy, so I'm not sure 100% why we need that. Is credentials include or true? I forget. This could be what it is, though. Okay. Yeah, you can post it in project chat or progress and self promo if you don't want to make a whole post. But if the projects is a forum channel, so you have to make a post. Wyman. So this might be our trick here. That might be what the issue is. Let's just see. HTTP request credentials include. I mean, I don't think. Always include. Only set include credentials for same origin. Yeah. Okay. So let's just try this. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? So Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading message. Okay, so we got an okay here. But where is this happening? Signup.tsx line 52. Okay, so but ostensibly that worked though, did it? Yeah, there's our directory. Nice. Okay, so this is what we were missing. We were missing a fucking thing in the requests to include credentials. Okay, so that's what our problem was. Okay. Nice. So we do need this, as it turns out. Okay. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do for the website, at least, is I'm going to eventually consolidate all of the communications with the drive to an API, or not an API, a client. Create drive client for easy queries. That's going to be a P0, but we're going to do that like after we get the backend fully working. But this does work now. So now, when you go to sign up, the root directory is created for the user automatically. So we should see Z2H, and then our user's ID is Z2H. So that's good. So we fixed it. So nice. Okay, so I think we're at the point now where we can commit this sucker. Okay. So the only thing is we're not redirecting. So that's our last piece here, is we're not redirecting to the root. So if I go to my sign up, navigate 52. So our result, cannot read, uncaught and promise, reading undefined from message. Oh, because of this, maybe. Oh, because we don't know what the result is, I guess. That's why, because it doesn't know the type. So let's just do result dot. Error, maybe? I don't fucking know. Result as status. I don't know. Or wait, no. What are we returning from this? And if I go, let me just make sure. Success data router. Oh, that's why. So that we'll see result dot success or something. I don't fucking know. Okay, so this should now work. Yo, how's it going, Jay? Welcome, welcome. Posted project on my Discord. Appreciate that. Okay, so if we delete this one more time, it should cascade everything. Good. And then we're gonna sign up, and then this should redirect us. Fingers crossed. Oh, we just get a blank error. Okay, nice. So our result is not okay, apparently. Where are we outputting that response, though? Oh, I guess it would be in here, yeah. And then what's the result? Maybe the result is bad. Three unskippable ads. Yeah. No, I've got that AdSense money, man. Gotta make bank on these streams. Just kidding. But no, Jay, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. This is gonna be a little bit more debugging just to get this finished, because I think our response is just bad here. Okay, so that's our response, or our result. Oh, because there is no result.ok. Result.data. Or result.success. That's what I want. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the problem. Okay. Okay. I had the wrong thing. Okay. I'm doing great, thank you. Got some really good news today. My interview is scheduled for Monday. Awesome. Congratulations. That's really great to hear. I think you're going to absolutely smash it. Does AdSense pay well? Or was it just a joke that went over my head? No, it doesn't pay well. At least not on my channel. If you guys want to know how much money I'm making on each stream, it's about between $5 to $15 Canadian. So I'm making like, what, $5 an hour doing this, which is like under minimum wage. So don't do YouTube unless you have a lot of subscribers. But no, I don't make much money at all on these streams. If you want to support me, sign up for supporter with YouTube membership. That helps too. I may also add another way, like whether it's like a buy me a coffee or something for like single donations. I don't know. But again, I don't really want to ask people because you don't need to donate. But like if you want to support me, I want to have like multiple ways of supporting me if you don't want to be a member or something like that. If you want to just do like a single donation or whatever it is, or like send a super chat or whatever it is. I don't know. You can support me in multiple ways, I guess. Okay, so now this should work. Okay, we did redirect and we have our root, I think. So let's just verify that. And we have our root. Beautiful. Cool. So we have a root directory created on user sign up, which is fantastic. So that's good. So we basically finished that. Dude, you did it? Yes, I did. I did. See, I can do things. Even if it seems like, I had a comment actually that was, there was a guy who maybe, I don't know what, maybe he had something going on or what have you, but he was like 0% product, 100% LARP. And it's like, yeah, but also I'm not trying to make something to sell. You know what I mean? But anyway, all right, now we can commit this. Okay, so we can do API, or I could just say global. Create root directory on sign up. And then we'll do, yo, how's it going, King Hat? Welcome. Nice to see you, my friend. Okay, create root directory, and I'm going to say, what am I going to say here? Let's say refactor directories into their own schema or entity. Create root directory on sign with route and client request. With dedicated route, /drive/dir/init, and then create wrapper client fetch requests. Okay, something like this. Good. Out of anything to LARP web dev's awesome, but it's definitely not something to brag about. Don't know what OP was thinking exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's not something to brag about, but you can take pride in what you're personally learning, right? No, I'm not here to brag, guys. I'm just here to show like my process, and to hold myself accountable. Okay, so that's pretty much that. I don't give feedback on stream, Vignesh. How old am I? I'm 25. You can read my FAQ here if you are curious. Why can't you brag about web dev? Well, it depends on what you do with web dev. If you're bragging about making an HTML, like a static HTML page, then I don't know. But I mean, if you do something really cool with web dev, yeah, maybe it's brag worthy. I think everything's brag worthy depending on how cool it is, right? Did I study computer science? I did. I'm a computer science graduate. Crisp. I made a sick HTML page for my friend once. It was brag worthy. I used a lot of JavaScript for the visuals though. No, I'm talking about like a basic one. Like a recipe page or something like that. It's like, and again, it depends on your level. If a 5-year-old makes a static HTML page, I'm gonna praise them for it. You know, I think it's brag worthy. It's all context dependent. Pizza Hut's website from the 90s, nice. Yeah, see, I'm very much like a Web 2.0. I grew up with Web 2.0, right? Web 1.0 is before my time. You're back now? No worries, Salty. But yeah. What are you using to store the data for fetch? What do you mean? Before anyone says anything, I know it's 7:30. Well, specifically Tyler, I don't know, but it's 7:30. But my girlfriend wanted to move our cat's feeding time, so he was fed before the stream. So he's been fed. I know no one was thinking about it, but I just wanted to make that known. What do you recommend for people studying CS? Focusing on CS or specialize on career building, full stack, mobile, backend? I mean, it depends what you want out of it, Crisp. Like, I think focusing on the Lucky Ben, that was a close one. Yeah, I know. I think it depends what you want out of it. Like, I think if you know nothing about, computer science, I think focusing on the fundamentals will give you a lot of understanding for the career building steps that come later. But if you already have a solid foundation in CS, I would maybe focus on the career building stuff. Had to grab myself dinner, corn dogs and white cheddar mac and cheese. That sounds pretty decent, not gonna lie. I had chicken tenders with rice and some steamed vegetables. That was my supper. It was pretty lazy, but yeah. You're doing bachelor's in AI ML from MU, nice. But yeah, no. We're trying to move the cat's feeding time to when we eat, so that he has a cue, for when to eat. So hopefully he doesn't wake us up in the morning. But it doesn't seem to be working amazingly well so far. You're having leftover frozen pizza, nice. Unfortunately, I can't eat gluten. I have celiac, if anyone knows what celiac is, so I can't eat gluten. So frozen pizza for me is like absolute trash. I mean, I've had it before. It was basically inedible. What am I building now? I got you. You can click on that link to the paste bin, Rayan. You had leftover spaghetti with bolognese, nice. Do I watch anime? I watch some anime with my girlfriend, yeah. Yep. We watch anime sometimes. But I'm not like a super into anime person or anything like that. Yeah, no, I do watch it on occasion. She's much more into it than I am, I will say. Japanese animations, yes. She's watching Solo Leveling. I'm kind of watching it with her. I don't know if Solo Leveling is anime or if it's like, I guess it is anime. It's kind of anime. I think it's Korean though, technically, not Japanese. I think. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, so where were we with this? Okay, so we were done this part, so I can actually tear down the web side. We can just run the API. So now we actually need to continue on with the CRUD queries, right? So that's what our next task is. I can't say I've ever watched an anime in my entire life, but I'm old, so please be gentle. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, I just realized this is JS, not C. C stream next week, Tyler. Original book is Korean, but the anime is actually made in Japan. Oh, got you, Gonza. I wasn't sure. Because she has the books and watches the anime, so. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's get into this here. Holy Christ, that's a lot of generations here. No, that's okay. There's probably a way we can clean that up at some point. Okay, so we have our drive queries. So we have our select file. And so we have a select root there. Then we should probably also write a select directory. Query as well, right? So we're going to need our user ID. And then we're going to need a dir ID. Which is going to be a directory entity type ID. Actually, we can just call this ID, no? And then what we're going to do is we're going to say try catch. If not ID, return const dir. Now, if we want to get the directory, do we want to choose all of the files within it? Because I guess that's kind of what this already does, yeah? So we may not actually, this might actually not be necessary. Now that I think about it. Because we already kind of have this query for that purpose. So that actually is fine. Okay. C mentioned, yes. Where do you get it? Motor City brand. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that pizza. I also just don't eat pizza very often because, again, the whole celiac thing. So, collecting the flavors like Infinity Stones. Oh, Motor City pieces from Costco. Got you, got you, got you. Nice. I understand. Okay, so this is good. So we have that. Now we should be able to create arbitrarily many directories, right? So drive new dir post. So let's try creating a new directory here. So let's go to, this is not what I want. Okay. Are we already signed in? Let's try signing in here. Oh, we already have our session token. So we have our post here. We need the parent ID and the name inside of what? Do we get this as, it's from the body, okay. So we're gonna do drive dir, and then that's good. Am I from USA? No, I'm from Canada, Crisp Boogie, Crisp. Pop-Tarts are overrated. Yeah. I've never, and that's another thing I've never eaten before, is a Pop-Tart. Not gonna lie. Probably missing out, but that's okay. I think I'm just drive dir, where is this here? Yeah, drive new dir post. And then so what I can do is I have the query, or where, wait, no, the middleware. So I need the parent ID. And then, so let's make something under, lock in. Yes, I'm locking in. So the ID is this for our root. And then the name is, let's just say documents. Okay. And then, so if we send this over, we should get a new directory underneath this, yeah? Localhost 8080 drive dir host. That should be one that exists. Oh, because of this. Okay, internal server error. Nice. What's the problem? Cannot read properties of null, reading ID. Do I need to reauth myself? Maybe? User.id. Okay, so the user is null. That's the problem. So that's the other thing I need to do here. Is I need to return, I need to do this HTML here. So I think the session might be bad, right? Because if I try this again, yeah, unauthorized request. Okay, that's what it is. Cool. If any of this makes you feel any better, I've never had a pop-dart either. European reading chat, no idea what any of these are. All fair. You don't have to, but specifying return types might help you on your middleware functions. Yeah. That's what I did here. I'm just doing these HTTP exceptions because I think the session that I have in this is bunk. So I'm gonna re-sign in here. So we're gonna do our email password and re-sign in. So for auth, or API I should say, auth sign in email. Okay, so we got our sign in, and then we should have our cookie. And then now we should be able to do our drive dir and then send over that form data. And then this should work, I think. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we have our name documents, and it's not the root. It's attached to the same user. So now we have documents underneath the root, right? Now the only thing is the path and the level are not changing. But that's okay. And then our parent ID should be defined as 1331, which is the root. So that's good. Nice. All right. Am I going to learn Kubernetes, Yash? I don't know. Probably at some point. Okay, so we can create subdirectories. It's very cool. And then now, just to really test it, we could create we could create another directory underneath this one. So we'll replace this, and then we'll say the name is what would be underneath documents? Maybe like journal. Just something like this, right? And if we create another one, then we've got a journal underneath documents, which is underneath the root, right? And so this path isn't really being updated because that was kind of an old spec that I'm not 100% sure we need anymore. So we can go in and fix that thing. Because I don't know if we need to really store the path if we have a pointer to the parent, right? Ben10, you're not the first to say that, Yash. Could it be documents journal? Yeah, it could be. It could be. But the thing is like it doesn't really matter because we have a pointer to the parent anyway. We could do that though. If we want to store what path it is just as a string, we could do that. But we don't technically need to store it because we have, like, inside of the journal, for instance, we have a pointer to documents, right? Inside of journal already, as you can see here. And then documents has a pointer to the root. So the path would really just be a textual representation of that, right? So now the other thing that we need to do is we need to test uploading files. So let's do that. So let's test uploading files into different directories. So drive file, new file post. Now this, we're going to need to read from the data. So we need to actually update this. So inside of this, we need to get our const directory ID is body dir ID, or just directory, I should say. And then now we're going to say, so file is a stringer file, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say dir ID here, just like this. And then of course we're going to have a type error here because we're going to need to check whether the if dir ID type of dir ID is not equal to string, right? Because we need it to be a string, of course. So then we're going to return a c.json status 400 for bad requests, and then error is invalid or no directory provided or something, right? And then, okay, so then we have our dir ID here. The path, you don't have to really worry about the path either, because I don't think it matters, because each file knows what directory it's in, and each directory knows its parent. Saw no AI, I click. Appreciate that, player. How do you build projects without AI from scratch? I'm a beginner. I don't use AI too. Yeah, it's not easy. It's you know, it's a lot of practice. So I started with here we recommend the Odin Project. So I use the Odin Project to kind of get started building small projects, and then get into larger and larger things, and just kind of build on my skills as I go. And it's something you get accustomed to, Chris. If I tell you good, you don't believe it. If I tell you bad, you also don't believe it. It would ask other people the same questions. It's better to investigate by yourself. Do you understand? I don't know if you're talking to me on that one. How much time did it take me to learn? I've been learning web dev for a little over 6 months. Shorts? Oh, the long answers for crisp? Got you, Yash. I wasn't sure. Sorry, I'm tuning in and out of chat. As my stream gets larger, it's harder and harder to read every single message. Okay. So now theoretically this should work. The other thing that I need to do probably is, let's just leave this the way it is with the path, and we can fix it after. Because the path doesn't really matter. We can just do that, and then I think that's all we need, right? So this should now work. So if we add our file, and then so the root, what's the yeah, this is the post. So it's just to drive. So the file is going to be a file, and then we'll do like a a dummy file here or something. We'll do let's just do like a test.txt, and then we'll say the directory, and then we're going to get the directory. So we're going to put test.txt inside of our documents, let's say. Okay. So we're going to put that inside of our documents, which is referenced with this ID. And I think those are the only ones we need. File dir ID, yeah, that's everything. And then so if we post this, we should, yeah, so this did work. So now we should see our file. and we see that the data is here and the directory is inside of the documents, right? So we can see that the test.txt is inside of our documents file, which is exactly what we wanted. And then, theoretically we could upload the same file into our journal. So we could upload another file into our journal, right? So if we go to our journal, and then we go to, let's select another file here. Let's do our BenStack logo.svg, upload that. And then we've got our file inside of that one. So if we go to our BenStack logo.svg, we go to our directory entity, it points to journal, which is exactly what we want. So perfect. How's it going, Mohammed? An era of AI, since LLMs done the coding, how is it still relevant to learn? I think it's still imperative to understand the systems that you work with, even if you use AI to generate them shorts. So yeah, this is so this does work now. So we can upload files. Now, the next step is obviously file modification, right? And like that sort of thing. So we're gonna need to write some stuff for that. So we have our tests here, which is good. So I think file uploading and reading works. So now let's actually just request a file. So if we request a file, let's just make sure that works too. So if we do directory dir id, so drive file get, and then the file name. So if we do drive slash, and then we do like the documents. Now I just realized something too. This is only going to return files inside of a directory. It's not going to return subdirectories. So that might be a thing. So I need to actually add that here. Return subdirectories when fetching contents of a directory. Okay, that's ugly as hell. Just gonna put this as like a note underneath this. Jeez. Okay. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna need to add that to our little to-do. Trying to distract Ben LLM. Got you, hated. Are there lots of bots on YouTube? I feel like they want us to be dumb so they can make money. Yeah, that's fair, Chris. I kind of feel similarly. Is that an Obsidian plugin? Yes, it is. It is the Kanban plugin by Obsidian community. It's got 2.5 million downloads. LinkedIn makes people more depressed than Instagram. Yeah, I agree. Thank God I don't use LinkedIn. I don't really either. I have a LinkedIn, but I don't use it often. If I'm going to be totally honest. Yeah, no worries. Shoot. Okay. So let's test this fetch actually before I get too distracted. Do I need to give anything inside of the? Okay, so we have the directory ID. So let's get the directory ID. So let's get our documents directory ID. And then we'll do that there. And then now, okay, so we have nothing in there. It says we have nothing in there, which is very strange because we do. We have our file inside of that directory, right? Our test.txt. So that's curious that that's not returning anything, but it isn't erroring out on us. So let me just check that. Okay, but at the very least we can create stuff though, which is good. So we have our user, we have our file name, but we didn't give it a file name. So we have our directory ID, and then we need to make sure our select file query is still good. So we have our dir ID, db.select, where user ID and file entry.id. Oh, this needs to be dir ID. That's part of my problem. Okay, that's the problem there. How much is your words per minute? It's about, I think, like 70-ish. It's not that fast. 70 to 80, depending on what I'm typing. If I'm typing just text, it's like 80 probably, but like if I'm writing like an email or something, but no, it honestly depends. 70 to 80 though, I think. I'm not a crazy typist or anything. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, there we go. There's our data, which is exactly what we want. And now if I upload multiple files inside of that, it should work, right? Now, we have to watch for name conflicts, is the other thing, when we create a new file. So let's add that next. Am I a computer science graduate? Yes, I am. So let's check for collisions with naming for uploading new file. So what we'll do, oh wait, actually, you know what? We're gonna check, the other thing I wanna check is, let's upload a new file. We can put it inside of the documents as well. But I want to test for collisions. So let's do something really small. This is like profile picture. Okay. Now that should have uploaded. So now we've got 2 inside of directory, right? Or inside of documents. So if we go to file entries, we've got 2, which is what we want. And then now if we go to get for that ID, and then we do we get a certain file. Actually, so this should just return us both, right? Yes. Now we have 2. So we have the first document here, which is our test.txt, and then we've got our PNG file. There it is. Okay, nice. Very good. So, I'm going to bed. Have a good day. Appreciate that, Crisp. Ben 10, yes, I know. I'm Ben 10. Okay. So, what was I going to do here? Yeah, I was going to check for collisions, right? So let's just make sure that the subquery thing works. Let's go to, or the drive controller file name. So we'll say at file name equals test.txt. I think this is how this works, right? And then now that should have only gotten that one. Nice. Perfect. Now we only retrieved 1. That's awesome. Now if we request a file that doesn't exist, I don't know what actually happens. Yeah, it just gives us nothing. Okay, that's actually fine. So that's good. How many computer languages do you know? Which one is your favorite? I know a few. I know Python. I know a bit of C. I know JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I'd say my favorite's probably either Python or C, though, generally speaking. Okay, so now that works. Oh, wait, I keep automatically saving here. So now we have to, the next idea is to check for collisions with different files. So let's actually like add another sub thing here. Check for name collision when creating / uploading new files. And then we're going to do check, or also fetch subdirectories when fetching contents of a directory. We're going to need that too for our to do. Okay. C is nice, but low-key useless nowadays, which is sad. Yeah, I know some people have said that, Marcus, but I think it still has utility in that it gives you a deeper understanding of how computers work and stuff like that. Funny thing, you can do some cool content address storage tricks. Say you have two files with the exact same contents in two different locations. You can store only the path of the second copy. Yeah, like kind of like and then you have a symbolic link to the other one. I get that hated. I think that's like kind of how things work for a lot of stuff. Like if you make like a shortcut to something, it's kind of just like a link, right? Yeah, it's really good for understanding concepts. I wouldn't, maybe not learn C to get like, the latest shiny tech job, but I want to learn C++ next. Awesome, Marcus. Yeah, it's cool. I've never learned C++ before. But no, I feel like we've made a lot of progress this stream, honestly. It's been pretty decent. I'm going to go for one more session, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go for one more session. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and then end off the stream. Because I am getting a little tired. I'm not gonna lie. It's only 8:00 p.m. But I did have a long day, so I want to get in my 2.5 hours though. But I feel like we've really made strides this stream, honestly. I'm exhausted, yeah. Yeah, me too. It was a long day at work for me. Have a nice nap. Yeah. Did you start full stack development during live stream, or were you into this before streaming? No, I started it fully on live, Mohammed. My whole web dev journey is documented from start to finish, start to present on this channel. I started right from HTML fundamentals. I had like a very limited understanding of HTML and CSS coming in, but nothing crazy. I've built all of the knowledge in web dev that I have up to this point, pretty much all, like 99% of it on stream. You worked for 12 hours today, damn salty. Yeah, I've worked, what am I on right now? I'm on hour 11 technically. Well, 10 I guess, because I have an hour lunch, so I'm on hour 10 of working. If you consider this work, which like I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I don't know. Streaming for me sits in this like quasi space between hobby and work, because I do treat streaming like a part-time job, kind of, even if it pays like nothing. 5 to 5, damn, that is wild. Yeah, my work days are like 8 to 4-ish. I say 9 to 5, but because that's just what the term is, but it's really more like 8 to 4. But yeah, that's how old am I? I'm 25. You can read actually more about me here on my FAQ, Mohammed, if you're curious. Salty, you're right there with me, my friend. But yeah. Mine's 9 to 6 in here. It's 5:36 in the morning watching. Nice, Adnan. Too slow? Yeah. I also like, you guys are watching me delayed, right? Like I think my stream's like about 5 to 10 seconds behind reality. Like behind what I'm experiencing. But yeah. But no, I know my stream timing for anyone outside of North America is really fucked. And I apologize for that. Bye, Ben. Here in India, it's 5:36 a.m. Awesome. Well, I appreciate having you, Yash. Thanks for coming in. I'm assuming it's IST. Yeah. I would actually, what's interesting? Like on my metrics, about 15% of my audience is from India. It's the highest percentage. It goes India, US, and then like it changes. But India and US are the top two. Hello from Panama. Never seen somebody from Panama before, but welcome in, Andres. But yeah, I want to do a poll sometime to get where all you guys are from. Not Canada, no. Canada is like number 6 or 7 on the list. 6, 7. Sorry. It's number 6, I think. on my last I checked. But no, Panama is super cool. That's awesome. But yeah, no. Canada is actually low. Canada is only about 2% of my viewers are Canadian. So American, I think it's India is about 15%. The US is about 12%. And then it drops off. I think it goes like Philippines, Vietnam for some reason is really high. Oh, Salty, what happened? Oh no. The auto mod got to you. I apologize, my friend. I don't know. I forgot that I said that. Darn you. Yeah, Nightbot. I'm sorry about that. What about Pakistan? Pakistan's up there. Pakistan's top 10. Good old 108 AM. Nice. He's limit testing it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think yeah. It's India, US, Philippines, Vietnam. I think Germany's up there. Egypt. I've seen Egypt. Egypt's top 15, probably top 20. I don't know. I have a lot of countries. Japan recently. Bangladesh, nice. I've seen some folks from Japan, Korea, like all over the place, guys. Indonesia is pretty high as well. The only countries that I haven't really seen are like Australia, New Zealand. I haven't really seen any Oceania friends. But what does the left side app do? This is my project plan. This is just for like my to-dos basically for this project. Okay, let's stop screwing around here. Okay, so we need to check for name collisions. So that's the first thing that we need to do, right? And this actually isn't for, well, actually we need to check it for directories and files, right? So let's do it with files first. So let's check for a collision. So let's say const file exists is equal to await db dot select. Actually, no. You know what? I can just call. Can I not just call the select file? I think I can. Select file. Select file gives it a dir ID. Which we should have from where new file at dir ID. Okay, so then we have user ID and then new file dot dir ID, and then so we're going to say if file exists, then we're going to do a return null, or just return. Okay. And then we'll do this similar concept for our Ben should be so locked in that he forgets the Pomodoro focus. Yes, lock in, indeed. I'll leave chat to you guys. Okay. So we're gonna say const dir exists is equal to select. We're going to need to select a directory anyway, aren't we? We're going to need another function here. So select export const select dir async. And we're going to say user ID type, and then we're going to need the directory as well. We're going to do it by name. So we're going to say directory name, and then we're going to say directory type name. And then we'll try catch this. And then we're going to say const directory is equal to await db.select dot from directory entity dot where I think, yeah, so I think we can do yeah, so we need to do an and then we need to say equals directory entity dot user ID and user ID match. as well as the directory entity dot name is equal to the name. Oh, dir name, sorry. That's what we need, okay. And then we will say return dir is dir.length. I mean, because we're not really getting, I guess we're just getting one. Dir 0. Otherwise null. Throw error. Oops. Tomato cheese. Is JavaScript way easier than C++? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. So I think this is a good function. So then we can use that for selecting, or for our inserting new directory, right? So then we can do const dir exists equals to await select directory based on the user ID and the name. And then if dir exists, then return. Okay. I should probably have a better way of showing a collision. You know, like, so I can even add a note here to do return that there was a collision. But then I need to handle that in the middleware too. But I'm just going to leave that note there. It's you know, because that's like more of like a UX thing. How much time do you work a day? I do about 2.5 hours on days that I stream, Mohammed. But yeah, okay, so that's fine. I'm also gonna do, I'm just gonna put the same comment here as well, just to have. Okay, so that's good. And so we'll have a collision. And then the other thing I need to do is check for name collision. So I have that. So now we need to verify that the name collision works, right? So if we're creating a new directory, so actually let's try uploading the same file to the same location. Right? Now this should not work, right? File not created, yeah. Which is good because we didn't want it to be created. Because it already exists. But if we give it a file that we don't have in there, let's do something small. I don't know. This or something. Oh, it's still not created. Okay, so then maybe there is an auth problem? Select file, dir ID. Oh, you know what, actually? It's because there's files in there. We need another thing. Do you also work 9 to 5? Yeah, I do. How long did it take me to learn all this? A little over 6 months. Okay, so I think the problem is with this, we're getting all of the files inside of a directory, right? So we're going to need to actually change this a little bit. So this is fine. So we're going to need to do We need to do a specific one. So this needs to change. Select all files in directory. And then should we do the filtering inside of here? So dir exists. It's going to give us what? Or not dir exists, file exists. So this is going to give us a list, yeah? Dot contains or dot includes. And then we're going to do file exists. Let's do this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the files in the directory and then I'll filter through them. So I'll say files in dir.filter. Const file exists. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say files in dir.filter file, and then we're going to say file.name is equal to new file.name. Okay. So now that should give us that there was a collision, right? So if we delete this, I think 2b is the use find function. I mean, this kind of accomplishes the same thing, right? Okay, let's go to, I think find might be more specific though, because this could be a list, right? I think you're right. I think that's fair. I think that's right, because this will be a single value. Yeah. It's not find. Or it's not filter, it's find. Yeah. Appreciate that, Mana. Okay. So now, I'm just got to think about this. 2b, yeah, so 2b is more efficient for finding one value. Yeah, I got that. So 2b is our documents. Okay, that's what we want. So 2b is our documents. So we already have, what files do I already have in my documents? Let's see. So we've got the test.txt. Okay, so let's make sure that that works. So we got our test.txt in there, so we can actually put that in here. So let's put that in here and then check that there's a collision. So this file not created, so that means that there was probably a collision, which is good. Now, if I put in another file that doesn't exist in that directory yet, like if we do this favicon, for example, there, then it was there. So file not created because it already exists, but that now is created, and if I refresh this, we should see that file entity appear. We should see favicon, and it's inside of the documents directory, which is exactly what we want. Mana W, yeah. We should have points for chatters code changes. Yeah, I know. I do a lot with databases and systems admin, basically. Okay, so that's good. Now, obviously I could handle that there was a collision, right? And then do some sort of return. But for now, throwing in an exception is fine, I think. So now we know that the file collision works, but now let's check that the directory collision works. So if we insert a new directory, what are we expecting from the controller? Drive new dir posts. We need a parent ID and a name. Okay, so if the parent ID matches, so dir exists. Now, okay, so we don't want to just check for selector. We want to also check that the we also need the parent, right? Because the parent's important. I think we need to also have the parent because two directories can have the same name, assuming that they're underneath different parents, right? How do you get the roadmap for these kind of projects? So I use, let me see. So I use the Odin Project as a rough scaffolding mana, which kind of gives me the project idea. So that the project idea was from here. So I use this specification, and then I kind of also, take this and then I translate it into, kind of like a Kanban board planning. How's it going, Coda Root? How's it going, Marcus? Good morning. And then I kind of just do this, and I add tasks as I see fit, and kind of just do things, that way. So this is kind of how I manage my thinking, is through Obsidian, and also this is where I got the idea for this project. So, yeah. All right, so what do we need to do? We need to include, for our selector, we need to include the parent ID. Right? We need to include the parent as well. Because we can have, like, for instance, wait, what's the problem here? Okay. Select directory, no overload matches this call, what's the problem? Oh, can I not have 3 ands? Directory entity.parent ID. Oh, is it because this might be undefined? Maybe empty? I think it's because this might be undefined, right? No problem, Anna. Okay, why? String null undefined. Is it because there's 3 conditions in here? I'm confused because we're going to want to select it by the because there's no parent ID given here. Okay. That's why. Okay, now we're fine. Okay, it's getting to that. Oh wait, no, that still doesn't work. No. No overload matches call. Overload 1 of 3. Now, okay, does this? No, it doesn't like that either. I think it's a typing thing though. Yeah. Type undefined because this might be undefined, right? Because I want this to be, if this is undefined, I want it to check against some sort of default parent ID, right? Yeah. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Yeah. Should be under query data. We're going to do, be a select. Oh, my cat's scratching the couch. Great. Hey, buddy. Okay, he stopped. Okay, he's good. He's good. How do you prepare your task board, which is on the left side of my screen? So let's see. I just installed this plugin, this Kanban plugin, and I just created the board. That's basically it. So yeah. DB select from users where equals user ID. Because I need to check whether it's because this may not be defined because of the way we have our root directory working, right? Advanced filters. I think you need a command for that now, Lol. What do you mean? For the Kanban stuff, probably. If that's what you're talking about. I think you can ask ChatGPT. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll say consts parent ID is equal to, or if, actually, let's say let parent ID, then parent ID is equal to parent ID, otherwise, actually no. We can just do this all in one with a ternary. So we'll do it like this, and then we'll say parent ID, otherwise empty string, and then we'll compare this against parent ID. Oh, dude, why? Argument of type string is not assignable to type column. Oh, does it need to be a column? I guess it does, hey. It does need to be a column. Oh, I'm testing the wrong thing. It's the wrong side. It's the wrong side of the frickin' thing, guys. Dot parent, dude, it's the wrong side. I need to put it here. So we could do this. It's just that it's getting to that. It's getting to that point of the night, right? Where I was just, okay, I was putting it on the wrong side. That's what we want. Okay. Hey, Ben, how do you get an app ready for production? Still working on it. And Sean. Or N Sohn. Sorry, I can't read tonight. Okay, so now that should work. Depending on if it's defined or not. So we need to pass that in. Okay, so we pass that in here for the directory exists, because now theoretically what we can do is we can have we can have a directory underneath journal called documents. Okay, so if we go to this drive dir, what do we need? Let's go back to my spec. Drive new dir post. We need a parent ID and a name. Okay, yeah. So parent ID and a name, which is just parent actually, and then the name here. So let's get the name. Let's go to the journal. Okay, can I code with you? Yeah, absolutely. You can code alongside me, alongside the streams. Or do you mean like actually with me? But the streams are here to code alongside. Okay, so if we go to journal, and so this is the parent. This needs to be text. And then for the name, we're going to say documents again. So we can have a sub. So it'll be so the file directory. The file structure now will look like this. It'll be root documents journal, and then documents again. And this shouldn't matter because it's in a different directory, right? But we couldn't do this, for instance. Or maybe we could, I don't know. Or sorry, we couldn't do this, but we can do this, right? So we're checking for this, but this is okay. So this should then work. Yes, it did. Okay, nice. So now we have two documents names, okay? But they have different parents. That's the distinction, right? They have different parents, which is exactly what we want, okay? Now, if we try to create a documents folder inside of the the root, and there's a collision there at the same level. So let's get the root ID here. This will not work. Perfect. Directory cannot be created. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So there we go. I think that's basically it. I think we've got collisions going. I think we're good, man. I think we've got file and directory collisions all set. So this to do here, check for name collisions. I think that works, man. Now the only thing I'm thinking is like, can we upload the same file to a subdirectory? That's the other thing we need to figure out as well. So for instance, if we have a so we have test.txt inside of the upper directories folder, right? I'm just going to test this and then finish. Thanks, Jay. Where was it? Yeah. So we have our test.txt inside of our documents. But if I try to create the test.txt again inside of, let's say, the journal, that should be fine because it's under a different directory. And then so the journal ID is 2A, this one here. So this should then actually work fine. Parent ID and name. Oh, I'm doing the wrong, it needs to be just to drive here. There we go. So that did work. So now you can see, now this is effectively what our hierarchy looks like, which is valid. So we have test.txt underneath documents, and then we have the same file underneath journal. Now to optimize this, okay, you could have this one that's underneath journal be a symbolic link to the test.txt that already exists. We do not have that optimization, but you could. I forget who mentioned that. But somebody mentioned something about that earlier on the stream, and I totally know what you're talking about. But like, if you have the same file in the drive in multiple locations, you can just have all of the other copies be a symbolic link of some kind to that other file, the one that exists. Now, there are a couple issues with that. One, if the source of truth file gets deleted, like let's say this one's the one that actually exists and all the other symbolic links, and you delete the file that actually exists, then all the symbolic links will point to nothing, right? So that's one negative with that. But for the sake of this project, I'm not going to include that optimization because that's kind of like, you're getting into like Linux level file system stuff. I'm not going to concern myself for that for this. But that is something to keep in mind, I think. So now, just to kind of give visibility here, I just want to like kind of show you guys like what this file directory we're kind of working with here. So this is the current structure of what we've got. So we've got the root, and then we've got documents, and then we've got journal, and then these are directories, right? So I'm going to actually do the directories with a little like arrow like this, okay? And then we've got documents again, okay? And then so underneath documents, we've got we'll just say D for directory, and then file for file, okay? Let's do that. So then we've got file test.txt, okay? And now what else do we have underneath our first documents here? We have profile picture.png. And we also have, or wait, this is a file. And then we also have the favicon. And then underneath journal, we have the wait, this is documents. That's directory entity, file entities. I've got multiple things turned on here. This is journal. Okay. Yeah, and then under journal, we have BenStack logo. SVG, and then the test.txt as well. And then nothing under documents as far as I remember. No, there's nothing under the second documents here. And then the only thing there's no direct files under the root as well. So this is what our file system looks like now, just at a glance. Having just finished my Linux management course, this is correct and slightly triggering. Yeah, like you mean the symbolic link stuff? Is that what you're referring to? But anyway, we literally, guys, we made the file system. Now, next steps are, yeah. I remember it from my course too. But there's like hard links and soft links, and like I forget like what the difference fully is. I think a hard link is like one of them's just like a pointer and the other one's like something else. I forget the difference exactly technically, but it's something like that. Anyway, so this is what we've got. So we can create files and we can get files. So we have as far as CRUD's concerned, the C and the R of CRUD are finished. We just need to do updating and deleting. So, and updating is going to include moving files, right? I haven't actually implemented the fetching subdirectories yet either. So I'm actually going to do that as well. Yeah, so let's do API. We're going to say file implement file movement, which would be part of updating. And then the other thing we need to do is file modification. Actually, this would be DB as well, no. And then API DB, I'm not reading chat, implement file updating or modification, which would just be like basically what would it just be renaming? I think that's really the only thing that we need, right? Like what other ways can we modify a file other than renaming? I know there are many more, but like as far as we need, I think renaming is the main one. Movement and renaming. And then moving would just be changing what the dir ID is inside of the file entity, right? So moving a file would just be as simple as changing our parent ID or our directory ID. Where is Chrome? Okay, here it is. So for our file entities, it would just be as easy as changing this dir ID, right? That would be moving the file essentially. And then making sure that that dir ID is a valid one. So yeah, it's not too bad. I'm learning C on the C side, might learn C++ one day. I think you're just insecure maybe because you can't program in either. So, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. That's what I'll say. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today, guys. So yeah, we're going to do the update and the delete as well. The delete should be trivial, I think. But yeah, and then after that, we can actually start hooking things into the web, the front end. And then that'll be like our back end, like mostly finished. The other important, huge piece that we need to discuss as well is file types and reading file data based on type. So that's a whole nother beast, right? And then, so I'm going to add that here. I'm just going to say global read or difference, or I don't know if it'd be global or web, read files differently depending on type or something. I don't know. We'll make this like a P1 priority, but it should really be P0. I think it's P1. I think it's P1 because we do want to do this, but it's not like absolutely strictly necessary. Where am I planning on hosting? I haven't gone that far yet. We're still kind of in the development phase. That's going to be, you know, maybe in the next couple weeks I'll get to that. But I think today we made a lot of progress. I think, you know, so that's good. But anyway, I think that's good for today. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling before I go on for another like too long. If you enjoyed the stream and you want to see more of me, feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps a lot. It's a whole other game. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a fun stream. I appreciate that, Hated. Thanks for sticking around. Subscribe if you want to follow along. Join the Discord. All that good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow evening, same time. And then that'll be it until I think Monday. So, you know, have a good rest of your night, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you soon.